Alright, guys, I'm back with chapter 13 of Deuteronomy, where the header reads, A Warning Against Idolatry. And we're just going to jump right into it, okay? Here we go. So, chapter 13, Deuteronomy. Suppose there are prophets among you, or those who dream dreams about the future, and they promise you signs or miracles, and the predicted signs or miracles occur. If they then say, Come, let us worship other gods, gods you have not known before, do not listen to them. The Lord your God is testing you to see if you truly love him with all your heart and soul. Serve only the Lord your God and fear him alone. Obey his commands, listen to his voice, and cling to him. The false prophets or visionaries who try to lead you astray must be put to death, for they encourage rebellion against the Lord your God, who redeemed you from slavery and brought you out of the land of Egypt. Since they try to lead you astray from the way the Lord your God commanded you to live, you must put them to death. In this way you will purge the evil from among you. Suppose someone secretly entices you, even your brother, your son or daughter, your beloved wife, or your closest friend, and says, Let us go worship other gods, gods that neither you nor your ancestors have known. They might suggest that you worship the gods of people who live nearby or who come from the ends of the earth. But do not give in or listen. Have no pity, and do not spare or protect them. You must put them to death. Strike the first blow yourself, and then all the people must join in. Stone the guilty ones to death because they have tried to draw you away from the Lord your God, who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of slavery. Then all Israel will hear about it and be afraid, and no one will act so wickedly again. When you begin living in the towns the Lord your God is giving you, you may hear that scoundrels among you are leading their fellow citizens astray by saying, Let us go worship other gods, gods you have not known before. In such cases, you must examine the facts carefully. If you find that the report is true and such a detestable act has been committed among you, you must attack that town and completely destroy all its inhabitants, as well as all the livestock. Then you must pile all the plunder in the middle of the open square and burn it. Burn the entire town as a burnt offering to the Lord your God. That town must remain a ruin forever. It may never be rebuilt. Keep none of the plunder that has been set apart for destruction. Then the Lord will turn from his fierce anger, and be merciful to you. He will have compassion on you and make you a large nation, just as he swore to your ancestors. The Lord your God will be merciful only if you listen to his voice and keep all his commands that I'm giving you today, doing what pleases him. I'm going to say that last part again because in my mind I feel like I didn't read that cleanly. The Lord your God will be merciful only if you listen to his voice and keep all his commands that I am giving you today, doing what pleases him. Okay, no, that checks out. Well, that is the end of chapter 13. And this I'm always intrigued by when they reference other gods. In my life, in my experience, when I think of other gods, I think of the things that we simply um, rise to the platform we set on a pedestal, like we should be setting God. Things like money, certain relationships, anything could be viewed as that. But I'm curious if people are also viewing things as like an actual entity. And so I know there's certain other passages in different books of the Bible that aren't in this. I think it's called the Apocrypha, and where I think it's Enoch that mentions the fallen angels and how they might have been presented as what other people thought would have been worthy of worship, and how that led man astray, which led to the flood and things like that. And so I'm always interested in how the determining definition of God as in other gods. I'm comfortable with my understanding and definition of the God, capital G. But the other one, small g, I I'd like to know more as far as um simply identifying is it just anything? It could be absolutely anything that we put as a level of importance. It could be family even, and that's a dangerous thing to think, because we think families, oh, it's good. Prioritizing family is fantastic, and really oftentimes a mother or father or husband, wife, they do that, but they don't put it above God, the God, capital G. And so when you put anything above God, it becomes your God, and the pursuit of that is going to be to your detriment. It tells you that, God, it'll make God angry, and you'll be punished for it, or maybe even worse, just simply left to your own means. If you don't desire to be in the presence of God, He does not force you into that, which is a very humbling thought. He loves us so much, and He loves us so much that if we were to say no thank you, He'd be like, that's all right, that's okay, I still love you, and just leave you be upon your request, which is crazy. And so I can really appreciate this resonates with me. There's more soul, we'll go ahead and call it soul searching, that I need to do, as far as how they reference other gods, and really, what could that potentially mean to me? Are there things that I'm prioritizing in my life over my relationship with God? And if I am, making sure I identify that and refine that, and making sure I have my priorities straight. Because He has expectations, and I would very much like to be a part of His plans, and not my plans. My plans have not gotten me as far as I would like to be. And whenever I feel like I'm doing His work, I feel like I make such strides. He makes such strides on my behalf that it transcends time. It transcends lack. It's so much more than I can even fathom. It's hard to understand. And I'll leave with that. So on that note, have a good night. God bless. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll be back for Deuteronomy chapter 14, where the header reads, ceremonially clean and unclean animals. And on that note, have a good night and God bless, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.